Fed Chair Jay Powell is back on Capitol Hill today for round two of testimony on his semi-annual monetary report. This comes only a day after Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen testified in front of the House Financial Services Committee, where she echoed Chair Powell's comments about the labor market no longer driving inflation. Joining us now, Financial Services Committee Chairman Patrick Henry. And it's good to see you, Mr. Chairman. Do you agree that we can, or the Fed, or as a country in total, we can shift away from the inflation fear and start making sure that we maximize employment? Is the coast is clear for inflation, you think?
Well, not if you ask the average American. You can ask a team of economists at the Fed, and that may be one metric. But the feeling, especially in this political year, this election year, the American people don't like the economy that they're dealing with and that the consequences of the Biden policies. So the Fed decision, and I think the better the Fed chair can signal what the rest of the year looks like, enables the Fed to recede from the politics and just get to the basic economics and the spreadsheet math that the Federal Reserve deals with. But the key question today in this hearing is whether or not the Fed chair will commit to reproposing this major new capital initiative that will raise capital standards for all of, across the board for banks, and making us, hold more capital than European banks in order to deal with European regulations. I think that's the real push of today. And that's the clarity we want to hear from the Fed chair, is that they will repropose these rules, not try to push it before the election.
The Basil III endgame, everybody's talking about that. Do you that will not see the light of day in your view, or we just don't know?
What I'm prepared to say to the Fed chair is, if they don't repropose, you will see this Congress take action using the Congressional Review Act to repeal the rule. It's a joint rulemaking between the Fed, the FDIC, the OCC. We have the FDIC chair who is in the scandal of his own creation about the abusive work environment he's created. We have an acting in the Biden administration for the comptroller of the currency who oversees banks. They've had a 4-year acting in that position because the first person they nominated couldn't get confirmed. Then they can't figure out how to get Elizabeth Warren happy with the other nominees. So they're trying to rush this before the election, which tells me it's really about progressive politics and electioneering than it is about sound economics and how we regulate banks. So we'll take action if they don't repropose. And I think that's the message that you'll hear clearly out of today's hearing.
What about the crypto bill? Do you have the votes to overturn President Biden's veto of that bill? You need 2/3, and then the Senate, I can't imagine. Well, look, they might go against him now. I don't know.
A lot's changed since we had this original vote. And the original vote in the House, we had 21 Democrats join with the Republicans to repeal this Biden rule that says you have to hold crypto like it's some other object, not like you hold banks traditionally hold things in custody. And so it actually makes those that own crypto go to less reliant folks to hold their assets than more reliant people and safer folks. And so we had 21 Democrats vote for that. We had 71 Democrats in the House vote for a full market regulation of crypto, another major initiative out of the House. 71 Democrats voted for that. What was contained in that bill was the repeal of this very rule that only 21 Democrats voted for. So that, I think, enables us to get a higher vote total today. And then the fact that we're in a political year and people are looking around and realizing it's a really bad position to be against what your voters want, and having clarity for crypto, with more Americans owning crypto and more Americans interested in the asset class and the use of these things. It would be crazy for a politician to stand in the way of that. And so we're going to give them the opportunity to move today from their original position from 3 months ago.
Congressman, continuing to talk about, now Treasury Secretary Yellen, it was asked about the 25th Amendment. She said she found President Biden extremely effective whenever she's had meetings with him recently. Some House Democrats are asking that question as well about whether that is the truth, sharp as a tack, whatever you want to call it. do Republicans have a horse in this race? And what do Republicans want right now? They want the president to stay in, or they want more chaos and maybe a different candidate?
Look, he had one opponent in the Democrat primary. They had their chance to replace him. They didn't take the chance. Now they're realizing what they saw in 90 minutes of debate is what I got to see privately in the Oval Office last summer, negotiating the debt ceiling increase. I'm not surprised. I was not surprised by the debate performance. But I'm also, I'm a Republican. I don't want him to get another term. But this is a complicated thing. And it's a jarring thing, just like it is, taking somebody's keys away and saying they can't drive anymore. But this is the presidency. And we should not be in a position like this where we're trying to negotiate like we'd negotiate taking somebody's keys away when it's the presidency at stake here. And Democrats have a hell of a problem today, in this week and right now. And the best thing I can do as a Republican is stay on the sidelines and let the Democrats enjoy their disarray and figure out what they're going to do.